Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Let's get right into it. This is the Allegedly Show, but we don't need no allegedly because it's being reported by people that PorshaTeesa is leaving her man just like Teesa after 15 months of whirlwind romance and him paying the bills. Now, I have to say, I'm shocked. I thought, this man is in his 60s. He's got one foot in the grave, one on a banana peel. Because, men go first, especially when they're that rotund. He looks like high blood pressure. So I figured she was going to get widow money, access to the real money. But she has decided to leave. And she jumped in so quick. What are our thoughts? And anybody else, if you want to come in and speak your thoughts, this is an open forum because I want to hear what everybody got to say.
I just think this was doomed. This was not the right relationship to enter. I mean, it was entirely too much controversy around it. You literally walked into someone's house, took their husband and a bottle of Hennessy, as my friend Rodney the Voice loves to constantly remind us. This was
Mm-hmm.
never a love story. This was not that. It was never going to work. The odds were always stacked against you. This man has had countless other wives. If you want to blindly immerse yourself in a culture that you do not belong to and want to be outright on the Tamron Hall show, talking about someone's culture that you do not know, that you've known about for 5 minutes, you are a blatant fool. And I do have all the sympathy for her followers that were in full support of this, watching a woman walk into someone's house, take their husband and their bottle of Hennessy.
Ooh.
And the Hennessy.
Like you said, caught in a bad romance.
I mean, this man is also, I would definitely say, Portia's type, wealthy and unattractive.
She sure does make some dumb decisions, doesn't she? God.
Hey there, guys. I just don't think
Good
she makes any
morning.
dumb decisions. I think she does not think these decisions through. She chose to lie on Candy. I cannot believe that a grown woman of 35 years is going to say something that reckless about someone based on what a fraudulent lawyer told them. I just can't believe it.
Mm.
Also, she thought she was inheriting 40 million. That baby inherited a 90-day fiance who was trying to scam your ass into getting into the country and is about to be kicked out. I'm glad that Porsche is on the show, but what is she going to bring? What is she going to bring? If
I
we
will
don't,
say, to that point, I thought, damn, we're not going to have the private jet. We're not going to have the opulence that I thought having a wealthy husband would bring, because now you're not going to have that husband. And
it's
I
going to be back to that Street Fighter Porsche who's beating bitches up in the alleyway. Yeah, that's all she has. And you know what? I actually got excited when I heard that Kenya Moore can't keep a man, doesn't have a man for 15 years, was getting fired. I do not want Kenya back. I'm so glad Boring Candy left too. Candy is a mogul, but she is boring as the day is long. What more do we want to hear from these women? These are not educated professors of some university that you can hear them for 15 years. It's the same old bull about somebody said this and said that. This show needed a total reboot. Porsha, I will say this, she is smart to scam Andy Cohen into bringing her back onto the show, but she's not going to bring anything. If Porsha is back, I want the old Porsha that's fighting girls down the street, and that's all we can expect from this woman. She has no depth to her personality. She really doesn't. And all the people who are supporting Porsha with pom pom ons, this is the same girl who would eat on a snatch if it's in front of her, but then was talking to a church talking about homosexuals need to be saved and this, that, and the third. Porsha is a damn fool. She always has been. And if they want this show to do any numbers, they need to bring Phaedra on too. We need to see Frick and Frack uh, scam a few people out of their money. I know Phaedra is a foul beast of a person, and on Trader she is in her element.
Phaedra is a sinister imp.
She she is she is a sinister imp, and I just don't know if I want to hear from these women for so long. It's like, a show that just goes on and you're just kind of waiting for it to end. I honestly thought that Real Houses of Atlanta, this would be the last season, and that's it. These women don't check in
Oh, no.
really in.
They
And
gonna get the money. They ain't leaving the money on the table. No, the heifers will keep going, but I can understand getting tired of them. But I will
yeah,
say, we get to watch Porsha go through the divorce, but this isn't a divorce. This is barely a breakup. I've had situationships last longer than this. Risa Tisa had situationships that lasted longer than this. Now, I want to know what the Risa Tisa of it all is going to be, because Porsha, you were 40 when you got with them. So you too old to play dumb. Let's be real. You already had, your rail-headed sis. Then you had Thyroid Freddie and Dennis. And now you ended it. Well, your last one is Esther Roll. Not an attractive man in the bunch. And you would think that they were ugly so they could act right. You ain't learned that. That ain't true with the first two. It ain't true for you. Maybe it's true for some. Because I
I
know
think
some
that's
that
a
are ugly
fetish.
men whisperers where they can
I
get
think that's a
ugly men to
fetish. An
act right.
ugly man. I honestly think Alex that's her fetish. She loves an ugly dude all over her. I really think so because there is no money that can motivate me to spend a night with Esther Roll. Hell no. I'll kick her right out the bedroom. Like no, no sir, not this.
Right. The reason for the divorce, she put ongoing issue, whatever that meant. Risa Tisa, he's been telling you he's got planes, he's got money overseas in offshore accounts. And he was just able to scam to get these plane rides and had a friend let you live in a model home. I mean, but 15 months, you ain't getting nothing. You're
I,
not getting a penny after 15 months.
well, how long was Phelan married to him? Was it 3 years, 3 years?
Something like that. It was a very short marriage.
Because
But
she didn't walk away with anything. And then looking at that,
they
it's
had
just
a house together, an income property, and she got like a little bit from that, but that was about it.
I thought he and Phelan were married much longer.
Oh, let's see. Well, he's had several wives. How long? 5 years. They were married. They were together
mm,
5 years, married for 2.
okay.
Yeah, but not all his marriages are legal, apparently. Maybe she just found out
Yeah.
the depth of just you can't get any of his money. None of it's in this damn country. And he probably is going to be deported. And she's probably getting a divorce as well to try and escape taking on any of his debt as a married couple. But I believe 2 of those marriages aren't even legal because of his identity fraud.
Jesus.
And he's been scamming since the 90s, since the 80s, the charges went back.
Yep.
You've been slipping into this country under.
Yeah, and showing the government that every chance you get, you're doing what you can to, frolic illegally. I mean, he may, I don't know,
1982, he's been doing it as long as I've been alive.
And then also, I'm not sure if she said this on the Tamron Hall. I gotta rewatch that Tamron Hall interview now. That will be really telling, but I'm not sure if it was on the Tamron Hall interview or on the show. It couldn't have been on the show or on her show, where they asked her how often does Simon get back to Africa, and I think it was like he's been like maybe twice in the last like 10 years. I guess so. So he hasn't end up getting stuck there because he has been frolicking and scheming back into America.
But how is he able to do that for so long? That's crazy.
Money, maybe.
And why and two, even if he gets deported, why does that mean you have to get divorced? Because if they just tell you you have to leave, then you just have to leave. Like, I know people in relationships that are like, yeah, he can't get into the country for this reason, or we've been working on it forever with immigration and whatnot. But They will live between. You've got the money to live between here and Africa. It's not like, oh, we got to drive down to Mexico every other month, like one of my friends did for 2 years trying to get his man citizenship.
She's gonna lie to our faces. Watch and make it about that. When a lot of people are gonna come after her, but that's not true. You
There's
cannot
so
be
many,
divorced.
90 Day Fiance. There are so many people that will live betwixt countries. Some people are like, I'm not giving up my other citizenship so we can hop our happy butts right on back to our home. And in case anything pop off over here, we can go over there. Or I have family that I have to take care of. So this just doesn't wash.
Yeah, but
You
most
were
of those.
in love. Again, a love story that reeks of PorshaTeesa because it was all about money and things, all about buying it. The second you got with them after 10 minutes, because you knew this man for 10 minutes, the ink on his divorce was barely dry, and y'all were shopping for homes just like PorshaTeesa. The similarities are just uncanny.
I think they were both using each other for a social climb. More so Simon, even though people say that he was well known, throughout the Atlanta metro area, I feel like he absolutely used her for a social climb. And she thought, oh, well, I'm going to use your money to climb even more socially. But for me, the lesson is stop envying other people's lives because you don't know what the hell is going on behind closed doors. And a lot of what people project is not real life.
That's a fantastic point. She wanted that life, got in that pool, and booty clapped for Simon, and now she's got a whole mess of failed problems.
Now, I agree that the marriage reeked of business relationship, but I thought, okay, he's using her because he wants to be a celebrity. So what boggled my mind, not because what just threw me. She got off Real Housewives of Atlanta and she left Dish Nation. And I thought, like, I could see leaving Real Housewives but keeping Dish Nation because it's like, okay, now you're the girl with the rich husband who wants to get into production. Why wouldn't you use your continued fame to boost him?
I
I
think
think that's always been.
Why would you go dark and like let us kind of forget about you? Why wouldn't you, amp it up? Like now you're in this relationship. Why wouldn't you get married on the show? Bravo would have paid for it. Like I thought it would have been a lot more what Taylor Swift and Kelsey are doing.
I don't think she wanted to face the public criticism or anybody asking questions about how close the marriage was from him and Fallon breaking up. And I think she knew that was gonna possibly like highly tarnish her quote unquote good girl or Christian girl image. And there's only so much PR you can do for something like that. And I don't think she was ready to be accountable or answer those questions.
A tough
She
time.
kind of did,
And then
she
too,
kind of did answer a little bit.
they'll start to discover little inconsistencies because the internet is full of slews, so it's best not to give them nothing.
I think the reason why she quit her job at the radio show was I think that's her motto to begin with. I'd never thought of Porsha. That's the only girl on that show that was like I won't say not ambitious, but I think that somebody that would like dip after they found wealth, I think it'd be Porsha. I don't really think Porsha has a lot going on in terms of like businesses and all. So I do understand that. And she was on that show with Simon where she was beating on Dennis' mom.
Oh my
So
god.
so yeah.
That I will never forget. I mean, that last episode. Oh, I need to rewatch that today. As soon as I
Production.
finish. Oh God.
Looks like Dennis and his mama are coming back to Atlanta with Porsha.
Oh Lord. I wonder if they'll try
Miss
to.
Diane.
I wouldn't shoot any scenes with her, but near any staircases, I'd make sure I was on level 1.
Oh, wait a minute. Now, hold on. Now, I want to, speaking of looking for inconsistencies, now that you have brought up Porsha beating on Dennis's mama, I remember Dennis kind of questioning Portia's motives for being with Dennis and the authenticity of the relationship during that last little Porsha special. He brought up, like, look, why is she with me? Why is she with him? And I guess maybe, do we want to just go on and assume that this is because there's no money? Do we just want to go on and call it that he's broke? Or do we want to say she just got tired of him?
It's because he's broke.
Broke. I agree.
Broke.
I bet you she found out that his purported 40 million in assets is not the case.
Right.
She did not
I
want
don't
to
think
be.
he has the money that she wants.
She did not want to be
Agreed.
Erica Jane of the South because you know
Oh,
they come for your spouse too.
that was good. Yeah,
He,
she's getting out.
I'm smelling a little brokey. I'm
Yeah.
smelling a little brokey.
He hasn't worked in.
It was Miss Diane eating hot wings in Simon's bed.
Ooh.
I don't know. That could get it out too, because Miss Diane is definitely a part of her marriage with the railheaded sissy. But y'all wasn't using that bed for nothing but dress up. No way. Y'all weren't having marital relations, so Miss Diane felt free to be up in there.
Also, it's important to point out that she hasn't worked. I don't know if maybe I just didn't see it, but she hasn't worked in a couple of years with Bravo. So the timing is just really odd that she'd be divorced in the same year she signed a contract with Bravo when she quit her other two jobs because she obviously did not need the money. It seems like she's broke, or they're broke, she's broke.
She did Thailand for a little minute, but to your point, not
Oh
nothing.
yeah,
Not a,
girls trip.
But that
Yeah,
I heard is a
because
good 250 for quick
because
money.
because remember during the pandemic, Porsha was like everywhere. She was, the fan favorite on Atlanta. She was on Dish Nation, and then because of the panty, Bravo gave her Giselle and that pink toe that talking head show that honestly was better than Watch What Happens Live, which is why I don't think we get it anymore. But she was on that and everybody loved her on that. And it's like, oh wow, you're really getting into your journalist. Like, it was good to see her.
Oh, don't bring up journalism to Tamron Hall.
So it was so odd. Like when she quit Dish Nation, I thought, oh, she's developing a show with Bravo where she's going to have like a little morning talk show or something that would be in competition with Dish Nation. But they've seen she's a success and they've got a lot of in-house Bravo talent that could do something like that and then talk about your own shows, have your own interviews on, but maybe with a different flair than Watch What Happens Live. So I just thought, oh, that's going to make sense, be another big check for her. And that never happened. It's like she walked away from the spotlight at the height, running up after Florida Evans.
Oh my God.
But if I were her, I would not have walked away from all of my income. I would have used it to, set up income or relationships in other forms of media because even if you do marry wealthy, it doesn't mean that things can't go awry.
Wait a minute. Now, Porsha got money in the bank and she knew she could walk out and get another job. This also set his ass up. Now she can say, I made no money through the duration of the marriage. Everything I made pre-marriage is covered by a prenup. We were married for 10 minutes. So that may keep him from getting any of her earnings because she's like, I ain't earning shit. I ain't going to be working with a man in here with that face. Oh, no. That's a bill pay face.
That's a good point.
It seems like she hasn't wanted to work though she's wanted to marry wealthy and then not work, be a lady of leisure. And I think every time she's chosen she's discovered that that's not going to happen, but she's not going to learn today. Well, maybe she has, finally that
But
you can't Erica Jane this.
I feel like she really had the best of both worlds.
Did.
I feel like she was a lady of leisure who didn't have to put up with the man. You were on Housewives, for crying out loud. That's some rough 4 months. Ooh, I couldn't do it. For, $1 million or so, then another million in Instagram. And you have to clock in for 3 or 4 hours. Like, you're not working. You're chatting. You're doing the same thing you'd be doing at lunch.
Yep, that's why he still wants to come back. But the door is closed.
Darling, I don't dream of labor. This is the example she's setting for PJ. That's also, I wonder what Simon will have to say about this quickie divorce. Liam, what are your thoughts on all this?
Well, we all know Porsha isn't shit to begin with. So,
Oh my God.
I mean, this divorce is typical Bravo bullshit plotline realness. I'm sorry, we all seen Kim Zolciak and her dollar dick man that she gets every season. I'm sorry. Porsha just she's just plateauing when it comes to relationships.
I will say this is your third flop. Like, at least it's not like a Kenya Moore flop where we knew it was fake from the beginning. But this is your third flop, Porsha. You know, that rail-headed sissy, we were all like, you were young and you like to play stupid. Then Dennis, we actually thought was real because he was, clatchet like you. He's clatchet. Like, you want to pretend to be classy, but you ratchet. And he had a few dollars, and we know that's what really turns you on.
Was he really classy, though?
What?
Was he really classy?
In the way he takes care of his daughter, yes, he is classy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good father. He like that. That's like Simon. Not Simon. Dennis actually seemed like a match for her. Where it was like, okay, ugly, check. Coins, check.
I think she got
check. That's what she seems like she wanted.
I think it was because Dennis cheated on her while she was pregnant. That really killed whatever was going to happen between them. But they are, like you said. I mean, I do think he's going to toddle on back with his mama for her to help be her storyline for this upcoming season.
You're right, because Portia's father cheated, which is how she got Lauren. So I could see why Porsha would have a real problem with the chutete.
But she always likes a man that is into more, more than just Porsha. Like Cordell was into more than Porsha, more than just women. And then Dennis allegedly loves a little cat, loves a little dog. He's a pet lover. So I think we just need to know what Simon's hiding in his closet too.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, we never spent enough time on that. That was huge.
Wait, what? I accidentally clicked out.
Dennis and those bestiality rumors.
Oh God, that's bull.
I don't know. You never know people. Allegedly, you never know people though, because where that stuff. Who put that out there? Was that Fallon who put that out there, or was that someone maybe more?
It was Carlos King, the same person that put out the first rumor.
Then forget it. Forget it then.
That's one of those. I don't want to know. Like, ooh, I don't want to know too.
This is. I want to know how much production knew about this divorce. Why didn't they just drop the divorce at the same time that she was coming back? Why did they do this?
No way. This is juicy. Get every inch of this you can. We love this. Like popcorn right now. Oh, she's coming back. We're going to see Nigerian excellence. Oh, no, wait, we're not.
Oh, I know why. I'm guessing she was offered more money for the People exclusive than she would have been at Bravo for that exclusive or tidbit. Because that would have been great information to have during the season and get people to actually watch the season. But maybe they offered her some better money. People.
I mean, this is definitely setting us up to get interested in Housewives in a way we have not been interested in before. Kenya, what are you going to do to make yourself this interesting this season? Because it was already Porsha's season, and now she's up the temperature. She has turned the temperature up. Every heifer who shows up, now you're really going to have to bring a strong prop line. And does anybody know who this Ming Lee lady is who's supposedly been cast?
No.
Oh, is she the one that won that Estee Lauder contest, but dated Rick Ross around the same time Nicki Minaj was dating oh my God, what's his name? Meek Mill? I think that's who that is.
Oh, gross.
I think that's who that is. We can just look it up. We can look it up real quick. But I think that's who Ming Lee is, because she does live in Atlanta and in the Rick Ross thing, and she used to have like a beauty background. Like she won some scholarship. I happen to know quite a bit about her, if that's the actual person, because I used to be in like the beauty industry for a quick little hot second before I found my career. I think that's who that is.
I feel like she sounds like a perfect hire to class up Love and Hip Hop, but I don't think that she's going to bring to Atlanta what we need. And I feel like we had Toya, who was another beauty influencer, on. And I don't think beauty influencers specifically have what it takes to be a housewife. I would say maybe a comedic influencer. Like, if you can really snap those jokes and get the girls together, your skills will cross over. But like, Toya was such a snore. It just, like, the idea of it, I'm just like, oh God. And I saw a picture of her, and she looks like a beauty influencer, which doesn't mean she looks interesting. She didn't look like she had a lot to say. And then dated Rick Ross.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if it's the same girl. I got my other computer going. I'm trying to see if it's the same girl.
I guess they need some Kim Zolciak energy. Whoop.
Well, you're not wrong there.
Toya tried too hard. She didn't try enough for me, but she wasn't quick-witted or interesting. Bravo was launching Hey You in Canada, so they needed a Canadian influencer that would get the Black Canadians watching, so they hired her. And, Kenya needed somebody to talk to, so she actually almost had a storyline. Now, I will say, Kenya making fun of, Kenya was going to make fun of Porsha regardless, but I'm sure Kenya is already getting her shade together, but because both of their marriages, now ain't that karma? Both of y'all's marriages lasted about the same time.
That's what I was thinking, is that Kenya might try to be, in camaraderie with Porsha in the beginning, because we got to set up a storyline arc here, right? Mm-hmm. We know ultimately these two don't generally like each other, and every time they try to be friends, it doesn't work out. But
just so you know, it is the same person that I mentioned that did date Rick Ross. She looks a little different from she looks a little different from when she did date him, but it's the same person.
Oh God! Okay, I guess.
She dated Rick Ross.
Yeah, during the time of Nicki Minaj and Meek Mill dating. At the same time. I only know because there were photos of them out, the four of them.
Oh, they said they got Ming to kind of shade Kenya because Ming owns her hair studio with lots of reputable hair people. Okay, I think they're trying to force Kenya out. It's just Kenya. I feel like we've seen all one of your dimensions. We've wanted 2 dimensions from you, 3, 4, 5. We can't get them. We've seen all that Kenya has to offer. I'm not going to say you're not going to find love. I don't think you're going to find love on this show. I don't think the show's going to help. So, so that we can take the wife out of the housewife for you. You don't enjoy being single and fabulous. And you're always in people's relationship business when that's a sore spot for you. So it's like, if you don't throw that rock, we won't throw that rock at you, but you always want to pitch that stone. You want to skip it across the pond of others' emotions, and we're tired of it. Also, in all this time, you've barely really connected with the ladies. You've barely had a friend on the show. It was more one girl that pitied you and needed a little camera time. Talking to you, Cynthia Bailey.
You saw Cynthia has a show with well, she's on BMF on Stars. She's acting.
Oh, yeah, I
She's
did.
acting.
Good for her.
Yeah,
And
I
acting
also.
looks good.
Yeah, she's playing like a nurse, I think. I haven't really watched. But as far as Kenya goes, I think Kenya does not need to be a part, as much of a fan as I have been since the 90s. I think she doesn't need to be part of an ensemble cast. I think she's in the fan base to have her own maybe show on Peacock, Kenya's Beauty Palace, or whatever it needs to be called. Something like that off of Bravo, but maybe on Peacock. But no ensemble. No ensemble. Something maybe with like Derek J and all the beauty gurus of Atlanta kind of all, show that beauty world, and them trying to bring Kenya into something like that, but not RHOA.
Yeah, maybe something where she doesn't have to argue anymore, and we can see the softer side of Kenya. We need evolution. This is why everyone loves Karen Huger so much, because she came on a front. Who was the grand dame and the lady Eloise of Potomac and a rental? And now she is a fabulous, 60 is sexy businesswoman doing it for herself. We loved the evolution. We love seeing her get her confidence. Kenya, we've just seen the same, running up after a man, and then really kind of mean and nasty to everybody else. And, you look bitter. You've been looking bitter for him. It's old, and you're getting old.
Her skin evolved though. It used to be very bumpy. Now it's kind of smooth. So that's the only evolution I've seen with Kenya. And where is her man? That's what I need to know with Kenya. Always love a good plot line. Look, it is a bit entertaining watching a woman that's that accomplished, that beautiful, but she lets us know that she has the same insecurity as a lot of us. Like, I mean, I don't think anyone in my circle will run after a man or pay a man more than $10 to like even go to McDonald's with them. But Kenya defies everything. Kenya Moore is, I think she needs to be fired. That's how I believe.
With Kenya, I honestly think she needs to go on and do like some sort of like glow up show. Like, I think she'll make a good host in a limited space. But she needs to be given the chance to pursue other interests, because she's just stagnating on the Real Housewives, and she gives me Fallon King on the Encore, where she just get the background completely.
I could see them bringing Phaedra back, and at least getting mileage out of us being interested in that.
Yeah, what's crazy about Phaedra too? She didn't have any of her family on that. Her mom was not on Married to Medicine. That was really kind of surprising. So I kind of thought this was like a little placeholder for her, Married to Medicine, and then she'd move on to RHOA with a bigger story. But it doesn't seem like it's going to happen.
Does Phaedra have a bigger story? Like, she came on to Married to Medicine with no connection to medicine. She has no real connection with any of the ladies. It's about to be the reunion. She's just been there and given a and a ooh child. Like, she served no purpose, but just everybody's been begging Phaedra. Now, Traitors, Phaedra has given, and Phaedra is interesting. I think Phaedra needs to be on Traitors every damn season. Like, just so you always are like, is it her? Is it not her? You'll never know with Phaedra. You'll never know.
Phaedra on Big Brother.
Go ahead, William.
Phaedra on Big Brother would be good.
I think her Married to Medicine connect was.
You know what it is? I think that Phaedra is going to always play nice. and be a little too boring because she feels like she wants to get away from that whole story with who said that and the accusations. And I think she realized she came real close to getting sued. And, now everybody's like, oh, you're a liar, you're a liar. And that has to be irritating at some point, like when you're trying to do business and somebody's like, oh, fade your part, girl, please. Girl, please.
I think she's a head doctor. I think that was the connect to Married to Medicine. I think that's where she fit in. But I don't know if she's gonna work on Atlanta anymore. I think she's past her prime. That's why I wanted a full reboot. We need to see new faces.
The
and not
problem with new faces and a full reboot is we barely got through it with Housewives of New York, and it takes us too long to build relationships where if these are all new heifers, the show might tank, and it's going to take us a while to really like them. We're not going to fall in love till season 3. Like your first 2 seasons are so weird.
How about like a phase reboot? We'll just get rid of the Deadwood here and now and make a progression, like so when it goes through a few seasons and then to be like a full new cast.
I feel like all we need is Porsha and the rest is Deadwood. Let's start with the deadest. Sanya is petrified, floating somewhere. Then you have Drew and her Floridian secret. Marlo Amos. We can't forget about Marlo Amos. No story there, no story that we want to see. Like, I don't want to hear about Monty Marlo and these stunt boys. Like, I really feel like you had them boys there for filming. You was not having them in your house, mess up your life. Like, I know what it is to be single, and sometimes, like, I'll have. Hold on. Wait, we got to stop that noise. Okay. I will have a friend over, and I'm single, and I'm like, after a day, it's like, okay, you got to go. I miss my quiet. And so I know Marlo Amos, she would miss her quiet too much. Them boys would be touching on her expensive fabrics. That house is for a single woman.
Are Porsha and I mainly the only 2 confirmed housewives that we know about?
Yep, they are the only 2 confirmed housewives.
So it's looking like they're trying to go into a younger demographic.
I think so. And I will say I can understand why, because I just watched the 2nd episode of Bold and Bougie last night. I know I didn't have anything. And there is just an air in that show where it's like, y'all are too old to be acting like this. Like, maybe if you had gotten on the train like 10 years ago and okay, we're in season 10 or something, we could get it. Like with Married to Medicine, we can get it. We've been watching you, so we're not used to it. And also, you've matured out of a lot of this stuff at that age, like Karen Huger. So you're not acting as thirsty as you are on season 1 when you were maybe 39. Now that you're, 49, there's just an air of we expect it from younger women.
Distasteful.
What?
Distasteful.
Yes. It becomes distasteful at a certain age where it's like, we expect a little more maturity from you. Now, you can give mature funny shade like Karen will, but it's like when you're saying, "We're coming the fuck up," it's like you're clearly trying to you're trying to be something you're not.
It's trying to be like a 40+ version of Jersey Shore, and it's really not that.
Yes.
Who asked for this show? No one was thinking about any of these people on the show.
Well, you know what it is? I think Carlos got some old treatments produced where he had because you can look at that intro and it's like, oh Lord, this was supposed to go out a while ago, but like Malaysia ended up signing with Basketball Wives and other people decided not to do it because the child support was too good. So I feel like, you know, now that money's dried up for these people, they're like, okay, I'll do it. And now that a lot of networks are, you know, struggling to find programming, they'll take a chance on some crap. But I can't wait to see this week's ratings because last week, 99,000 people watched. Those are YouTube views.
So it'll be 45,000 this week.
I'm thinking we might get to a point where more people will watch my review than the show.
There'll be more people at Kroger's than watching that show.
PorshaTeesa got more views.
Sure does.
But I don't think people watch TV as much in general. I know I don't. I don't watch traditional TV.
Yeah, Love and Marriage Huntsville is on its last leg. It hasn't been good in a while, and then them bringing Kiki in, I just feel like, you know, it's getting almost exploitive, but you care so much about Black women. Boy, bye.
It's very dark. That's what troubles me because the Martell and Melody storyline is so dark now.
It really, that's gotten dark. The Kiki story has gotten dark. It's like, okay, it's time to move on, but he doesn't want to go to a city where he would need a budget. Like, OWN threw him $4 or $5 for those shows. Like, though, like, it doesn't seem like anybody's making anything. And I'll tell you how we can tell. How long has it taken the Scotts to get into their home? And Scott Manor is just now a memory. Like, no, they ain't even doing that no more. That land just sitting there, they probably quietly sold it. But they went on, moved into an apartment to renovate their house, which didn't really look that different to me. And I'm like, you've been on this show 6 seasons and that's all you can do? And it took that long?
Still better than Nene.
Well, Nene actually got her house. They were on their Chateau Churet. Yeah, we just talked about Ming Lee joining. And well, on that note, I guess we've covered everything with this shocking new story. So, Aaron, why don't you let everybody know where they can find you on social media?
Check me out on Instagram. It's psychic_ELB. Hit me up and say you're a Biffa and you can get a discount for a reading.
Liam, Renee, Demi, anything y'all want to promote?
No, I'm just a private
No.
citizen.
Same.
Well, I want to thank you all for joining me for this open forum, and I will see y'all soon for more of the PorshaTeesa story. Bye, y'all.